Okay, we're filming. Hi guys, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Chili.
And we're Bookstopian. We talk about books. Today we'll be talking about the Shadowhunter Chronicles by Cassandra Clare, including the Dark Artifice... Not the Dark Artifices.
Including the
Infernal Devices.
And the Immortal Instruments.
As shown. The Infernal Devices. And the entire Mortal Instruments series. It's quite large. We'll sort of be discussing what happens in the books, the series, the sort of ties that are included, and we suggest that if you haven't read the series, like both of them, haven't read even City of Heavenly Fire yet, don't watch this video because there will be spoilers.
Spoiler alert! Boop, 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 boop.
Spoilers! And we don't want hate in the comments about us spoiling it.
It's our first video. Give us some credit.
We are warning you about spoilers. We will spoil a lot.
We are Australian.
We spoil.
Yeah. Australia sucks, by the way. Not only is it winter at the moment, and it gets down to 10 degrees Celsius, which I don't know what is in Fahrenheit, if you're American or whatever. But we don't get hardcovers. We hardly get any hardcover books.
I can't afford it. They're like $20 each for a hardcover, and it's like not worth it. So all my books are paperback,
which sucks.
I mean, I ordered a book on Amazon. It came hardcover, but that was okay. But on average, you can't get hardcover books here in Australia. On average, they're just paperback. So first time this comes out, paperback.
So don't get upset if the hardcover's better, better quality, it doesn't wreck more.
It is a lot better. I mean, I've got Shiver by Maggie Staviter. Is that how you pronounce it? I have that in hardcover, but that was oh my god, it's there. We'll buy that.
Yeah, it's hardcover. Get it while you still can.
I got a couple hardcovers. I think I've got
I've got one.
5.
And it's one of the books.
Out of the 200 books I've got sitting behind me, I think I've got way over 200 now. I have 5 hardcovers, so that's about it. Anyway, back to the point. We're going to be talking about the Mortal Instruments, the Infernal Devices, what we reckon will happen within the Dark Artifices and things like that. Spoilers.
As we've already mentioned. But we'd like first to start off by talking about the Infernal Devices series, which is sort of a prequel to the
Mortal Instruments.
Which is a prequel to the Mortal Instruments series, and it features Tessa Gray, Will Herondale, Sex God, and
Jem Carstairs, who we all get to sort of meet in City of Heavenly Fire. Well, throughout
we get more familiar with them and their journey,
as into
the modern day, how they spent their time, how Tessa kept into contact with Magnus, which
she's Magnus is we meet Magnus in the Mortal Instruments, but he's introduced to the whole Shadowhunter world, and he's brought into the whole thing, the whole Shadowhunter world, because of his relationship with Tessa, Will, and Jem. So we got the first book in the Infernal Devices, Clockwork Angel, which is set in
1878.
1878.
Woo! I got it right.
Yeah. So it's about Tessa Gray. She's lived in New York her whole life. Her parents are dead. She's been living with her aunt and her older brother Nate, who we later find out has been a complete douche.
And is no way related to Tessa, which
they aren't actually related.
Yeah.
Tessa, her aunt died. Nate, her older brother, moves to London to work for a guy who used to be the boss of
sell opium from.
Well, he used to be the boss of their dad. So he's gone to go work for this guy, and he's sort of learnt about the shadow world, which is warlocks and vampires and werewolves and demons and shadow hunters, and Nate, the older brother, has learnt that Tessa isn't actually his sister, but actually a warlock. And so he's sort of set up a trap to get her to come to London to live with him, but instead she's taken by two warlocks. Well, one's actually a demon, one's a warlock. To learn about her abilities, how she can she shapeshifts.
But she's not a normal warlock.
She has no warlock mark. As we all know, the demon parent leaves a mark on the warlock child. Tessa doesn't have one. Right. Instead, she has a magical necklace. Angel.
Like, Magnus had his cat's eyes. Ragnarfell has his...
He has, like, white... He has, like, blue skin or something. Green skin. Scales.
No. Doesn't he have the devil tail? The pointed tail? Something like that. Wait, no. Not Ragnarfell. The one in Sea of Lily Fire.
Oh, that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has, like, scales and stuff. The one who's with, that's like the nurse for Jocelyn. She's got blue skin.
But it's hidden by a
glamour.
A glamour.
Anyway, so, giving away the whole plot here. Yeah. Anyways, Tessa goes to London. She's taken by a warlock and a demon to practice her abilities. She suddenly can shapeshift. She can turn into anyone she wants after, like, touching something that used to be theirs, like an eyelash, a piece of hair, even a button. She can turn into them, and she can reach into their thoughts. She can witness their last moments of life. She can do anything like that. But she sort of she was told that her brother was kidnapped, that they were holding him until she did what they wanted, and she was going to be married off to the Magister, who we later learn is the man employing her brother. But she didn't know that. So she's sort of being told all these lies to keep her subordinate. And all of a sudden, there's Will Herondale.
He's the first of the Herondales.
Not the first, but we all know. Anyways, so all of a sudden, he's sort of broken into the place where she's being held. And he's saving her after she smashed a pot smashed him with a pot.
Classic Will.
She just hit him with something. Anyway, so they're running. She meets the other Shadowhunters. And she's starting to she's told them about her life, and they're protecting her. Because they figured out that this can be related. The issues they're having and the thing with Tessa, it's related, and that she's a possible weapon. And so throughout the series, we sort of learn Tessa's journey into figuring out who she really is. She finds out her mother was actually an unmarked Shadowhunter, and that's why she was so special. We learn of Will's inability to love, which is because he feels like he's been cursed by a demon, and that it's his fault his sister's dead, when in reality, the demon just killed her. He was never cursed. We sort of learn we learn about Jem's condition and the demon poison that's coursing through his veins, and the fact that he has to take a drug to stay alive. We sort of meet new characters in Clockwork Prince like Gideon and Gabriel Lightwood, and the fact that their father, thinking he's the best Shadowhunter in the world, has been sleeping around with demons. And
Lightworm!
And he managed to get himself a dose of demon pox. Demon pox is how it acquired. One must go down to town and one is very tired. Demon pox, oh demon pox, I had it all along.
No, not the pox, you foolish blocks, I mean this very song. For I was right and you were wrong.
Anyway. We love you, Will. Anyways, yep. He gets to die. Benedict Lightwood dies after sleeping around with downworlders. Anyway, so we learn about those affairs. We sort of learn about the corrupt society and how the clave is sort of the enclave which Charlotte runs. She's being sort of looked down upon because she's a woman, and so it sort of shows how women can be stronger than the men. and that's sort of what's happened. Like, she's shown that she's stronger than Benedict Lightwood. She has better morals and things like that, and sort of like, girls, you can be like Charlotte. You want to be like Charlotte. You don't want to be one of those prissy girls who tries to commit suicide when a guy doesn't like her.
When it starts for a minute,
Anyways, and then we got the last book, Clockwork Princess.
which is by far the best of the series.
It is the best. Tessa gets kidnapped. Jem is dying. He's on his deathbed.
But while this is all happening, Tessa and Jem are supposed to get married because they are in love with each other.
But, plot twist, Will is in love with Tessa. Tessa is in love with Will as well.
And it is just confusing.
But she even says that she can't love one without loving the other because they're parabati.
Yeah.
So it's like...
So you're stuck between the ships of Team Will and Tessa, Wessa, or Team Jem and Tessa, Jessa. So
it's like really hard. It's difficult to choose who you like.
I
nearly shipped her with Magnus just to get everyone's attention, but hey, we all love Magnus. We all love Malik. So anyway, a lot goes down in this book. I think it's in this book that she finds out who her real family is, and at the end of it, she's being told she can take on her true family's Shadowhunter name. She's been pretty much accepted into the life of Shadowhunters. She's turned herself into an angel to save them, and she knew that she might not come out of it alive.
Which we first are introduced with the Heavenly Fire, which Tessa experiences for like 5 seconds.
Well, not 5 seconds. She's experienced it for like weeks. She's like sort of dying of it, but once she sort of gets what she wants out of her system, like when she tells Jem about how she loves him, but she also loves Jay. She also loves Will. She loves once she can sort of lay down what she feels for Jem and Will and all that, she can sort of let go of the guilt. She can let go of it. So it's sort of like saying let go of everything else, sort of live in the present. Anyways, yep. Then we got the epilogue of this, set halfway through. Pass me the book. This. Halfway through.
So in 2008, they meet Jem after having to be saved. He has to be turned into a silent brother and live the rest of his life as Brother Zachariah. So him and Tessa usually meet up at like a bridge in London every year at a certain time. And the Blackfriars Bridge, where they meet up every year. And in 2008, Jem turns up.
As Jem!
As Jem, not as Brother Zachariah.
Not a silent brother. Jem.
And
black hair.
That happens during City of Heavenly Fire when we find out how Jem is Jem again. And that is because
of Jace. Thank you, Jace.
Jace Herondale, Jace. And he has been he's been exposed to Heavenly Fire for about half of the book, and then he's in trouble, and Brother Zachariah tries to help him, but at his touch he's burned with the Heavenly Fire and all the demon.
So, because when he's been turned into a Shadowhunter, a lot of the demon drug and poison that was in him before, it still lingers in there, so he could never truly become a proper silent brother until it was burned away. And when it was burned away, so were the runes that pretty much kept him to the Brotherhood. So when that sort of happens, it sort of allows him to be free again, to continue what he was, like, continue life. And I think that's a really good thing that happened, because we all sort of feel sorry because he's had to resort to this to be able to live and to help those he loves, instead of dying. So that's the best we could do.
Getting to
the Mortal Instruments
series, starting off with the City of Bones, we are first introduced with the main characters of Clarissa, or Clary Frey, and she doesn't know that she is really a Shadowhunter, and she finds this out when she goes to a demon club, Pandemonium, on her birthday with her best friend Simon Lewis, and she sees a bunch of Shadowhunters, who we later find out is Jace, Isabel, and Alec killing this blue-haired demon that she has seen earlier into the
club.
Into the club. And she sees them killing him, and she is
sort of has a massive spaz attack about it, and causes a lot of tension to be brought upon herself, including the attention of Jace. And much like Tessa, she didn't know about this. Like, Tessa sets off to try and find her brother and save him, while in this, Clary sort of sets off to find her mother,
who has been kidnapped
by her evil father,
which
Valentine.
She has no idea who is her father yet.
And she's kidnapped by Valentine, whom everyone expects to be dead. So, yeah, her mother's kidnapped. Clary sort of has to resort to going to the Shadowhunters for help, and she sort of starts to find out that her whole life has more or less sort of been a lie. She's really a Shadowhunter, and her mother's been keeping her safe and away from everything.
A lot of Cassandra Clare's The Shadowhunter Chronicles is about self-discovery and about finding out who you truly are and why you were put in these situations. And it's about growing up and becoming who you're supposed to be and not what others want you to be.
That's like Tessa. She grew up. She became more independent throughout the series. She grew older, and she started to realize what would happen to her. She knew she'd be immortal, that there was no doubt about it. She'd become immortal, and it was because of, and she sort of had this talk with Magnus about it, and they're immortal. He sort of explains to her what it means to really be immortal, and she sort of grows with that, but she doesn't let it tear her down. She still learns, she still loves, and she takes that risk, which is really brave, especially since she has to watch everyone she loves die. So it's like that, and then Clary sort of throughout the 6 books, she sort of begins to grow up and begins to understand what it means to be different and a hero, and she sort of begins to learn that no matter what, she can kind of help. She doesn't want to sit in a corner and let everyone else do it for her. She'll do it for herself, and I think that's really good because it's sort of teaching us that no matter what, we're still different. We can still find ourselves in anything. In any situation, we can find our way out of it. We can find a way to sort of find ourselves.
You shape your own future. You don't let other people shape it for you.
Yeah, and she sort of figured that one out. Like, because her father has been trying to shape her future, shape who she has to be, and instead she's sort of brought it upon herself to make it herself.
Same with her mother, Jocelyn. Like, she did take Clary away from the Shadow World for her protection, but Clary didn't choose to be like that, and if she wasn't introduced to the Shadow World, there wouldn't be a Clary and Jace relationship.
That's all we care about, their relationship.
Yeah.
But it also wouldn't have led up to the events that's happened, and they're significant. Much like what happened in the Infernal Devices. They're insignificant, so it's...
The Clace shit is really tested in these 2 books. City of Ashes and City of Glass, when Clary and Jace are told that they are really brother and sister, and Jace's real name isn't Jace.
It's Jonathan.
It's Jonathan Christopher Morgenstern.
But that's what they've been told. It's not until we learn in City of Glass that Jace isn't actually a Morgenstern. He's actually a Herondale. He was never a Wayland, as I first believed. He was never Morgenstern. He was actually a Herondale, which leads us back to Will and Tessa and all of them. But, so he's sort of been brought up to believe he was one person. Then he was told he was someone else. And now can be his own person because he has nothing.
He has no family left, really, other than Tessa.
Tessa is literally his only blood family left.
But
he doesn't know that.
Yeah, he doesn't know about Tessa.
And the fact that she's actually, like, a warlock. And so he's sort of fretting about the idea of having demon blood in him, when really he's already had demon blood in him. And the fact that I think the demon blood that was injected into him as a child, as a baby, was probably...
Angel blood.
It was angel blood, yeah. But I think it sort of ignited the dormant blood in... like otherworldly dormant blood in him. So it's like,
And
don't worry, dude.
in City of Glass, we are introduced with the real Jonathan Christopher Morgenstern, who goes under the name Sebastian Verlac, which we later find out is that Sebastian, on his way to Idris, which is the Shadowhunter country, had been kidnapped and killed by Valentine Morgenstern. And the story just expands from there.
So we sort of learn about the true demonic side of what happens and what Valentine's truly been doing, because he's been injecting his own son with demon blood, and it's been poisoning him, and it's been turning his mind into darkness pretty much. He's evil, and we sort of begin to see that, and by City of Lost Souls, Jace has been sort of turned to sort of being under mind control with
by a bonding rune that
sort of bound him and Sebastian together. And so we sort of begin to learn about that. And by the end of this, Clary has stabbed Jace with a
heavenly sword, which has ignited the heavenly fire from the sword and made it.
It has injected him with heavenly fire. He's been injected with it, and it's sort of like a lot has now happened, and it sort of
Sebastian is still on the loose.
He's still out there, and he's still causing trouble, and now he's got the Dark Cup, and he's been turning Shadowhunters into
darkened
warriors, and we sort of view more of them in City of Heavenly Fire.
They dress as normal Shadowhunters, but
in red.
But in red, which is the colour of enchantment, which they sort of have been enchanted because they have been enhanced with demon, like, they've been forced to drink demon blood, and they have been, like, magic and all that. I don't know.
It's just demon blood. It's Sebastian blood, so it's demon blood. Anyways, yeah. We've sort of been introduced to that, and introduced to what more Sebastian / Jonathan wants to do. And Clary, Jace, Simon, Izzy, mind you, Simon's now a vampire. Simon, Izzy,
with daylight powers because
Alec, he drank from Jace. Anyway, so they have to travel into the demon realm of Edom, and they are more or less subjected to find Clary's mum, Luke, Raphael, the head of the vampire clan he's sort of the representative of the vampire clan.
And Magnus. Mostly Magnus.
Yeah. On the way, Raphael dies, but we sort of learn more about Magnus's past, as a lot of us really want to know what happened to him.
Like his father.
We sort of learn that his father is actually one of the princes of hell, one of the 9 princes of hell. Okay,
before we go any further, what is with Herondales and Saxon caves? Seriously, where's the book? In Clockwork Princess, when Will finds Tessa in the cave where Mortman has been holding her, they
have a steamy make-out session and then have sex.
Yes, exactly like that. And then in City of Heavenly Fire,
they go swimming.
They go swimming.
And then all of a sudden he pulls out a condom and they have sex.
Which we have no idea where he got a condom.
How the hell did he manage to bring a condom with him? Like, is it always in his wallet? I mean, I know guys who always have a condom in their wallet, but... Slut. You don't know, the guys I hang out with are really bad. But I don't like them very much, so it's okay. Anyway, yeah, how did he manage to bring a condom? That's what everyone wants to know. Why did he even think about bringing a condom?
Okay, I know that Jace had to wait 6 books for this scene. But really, Will only had to wait 3.
Obviously, we know who the better Herondale is.
Yeah. But at the end of Heavenly Fire, actually in the middle, Jace, without us knowing, escapes from the heavenly fire, and we have no idea.
We didn't know.
And
Not until the end, when we sort of figure out that Clary has infused her own blade with the heavenly fire when she stabs Sebastian, and the heavenly fire, like, burns away the darkness and brings Jonathan back.
And he has green eyes.
And we're just like, oh. And this is, like, the part where we're all, like, bawling our eyes out, because it's like...
It's Jonathan. It is actually Jonathan.
I'm glad Sebastian's dead, but Jonathan, what about him? He doesn't get to live. Like, I think I started crying during Clary's dream because it was really sad. It was like, what do you do?
Do you know how hard it is to explain to your friends that you cried when the bad guy died?
I think my friends all teared up a bit in that bit, because it's sad. It's a good thing, like, Sebastian's dead, but it's sad that Jonathan doesn't get to live, because Jocelyn has to watch her son die again. She always wanted to have her son be normal. She didn't want him to have demon blood in him, didn't want any of that, and she had to watch him die in her arms, and Clary sort of had to watch her real brother die with him, and it's like, I guess you couldn't have it both ways. It's really sad. It was really sad.
At one point, we wanted him to die, but once we found out that he was really Jonathan inside, in his heart, we couldn't really handle that bit.
No, it was upsetting, and it's like, I guess it's the only way you can do it.
Well, Cassandra Clare
knows how to bring the tears.
Yeah, and she all knew that we wanted Jonathan to die because he's evil, but we didn't realise that there was more to Jonathan that she led on. So
it's like, damn it. But I guess after that, it's like, crap, they're stuck there. As soon as that sort of happens, it's like...
And we meet Magnus's daddy.
He's pretty evil. So he takes away Simon's immortality, so he takes away the vampireness of Simon,
His sexy vampire mojo, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, he takes that away from, along with his memories of the Shadow World, and those around him. They take away. Magnus's dad takes away all of their memories as well. So now Simon has no recollection of Clary, and so that sort of becomes hard on everyone, because it's like, he doesn't know Izzy, he doesn't know Clary, he doesn't know anyone. Until one day that Clary decides to go see him and finds out he's named his band The Mortal Instruments, and we all realise that he's got something there. And then they're trying to
figure out a way
to bring out more Shadowhunters, because most of them are dead after the massive war. So it's like, we need more Shadowhunters. They're beginning to ascend. They're going to get some people to ascend, and here comes Simon. Like, Simon can do exactly what they can do. It's been shown plenty of times, so it's all good.
So Simon ascends in the end, and at Jocelyn's wedding, Clary and Simon meet back up, and
the first thing he goes is, "You're Clary. Clary, my best friend." So it's like, it's all good. So we get Simon back, and Luke and Jocelyn are finally getting married, and Tessa shows up with Jem. Throughout the book, I think we finally had little bits of Tessa. Tessa was mentioned, and I think I had a massive fangirl moment where she was finally mentioned.
I think we all did.
Yeah. And it was really good to have her mentioned, because it's sort of like, what would Tessa do? That was what the question asked. What would Tessa do? So it's like, well... so we had that little bit of her. So she was sort of mentioned to be in the Spiral Labyrinth, where she escaped after the, the uprising? She escaped there, because of course she's going to be afraid, oh crap, I'm going to be a weapon again. That's going to be her first thought. She's going to be used as a weapon. Plus the last of her line is dead. And so she thinks, so it's like, yeah, I don't want to be around any of this anymore. So she escapes to the Spiral Labyrinth, where she can help the Shadowhunters, and I don't think she ever knew about Jace.
I think she found out by Magnus, because at Jocelyn's wedding, Clary is talking to Tessa. And Clary is telling Tessa, oh, Jace has nothing left of his Herondale bloodline and all that. And Tessa decides at that moment to give Jace her son, James Herondale's family ring, which would have been a big deal to hand over a ring that your son, that you has passed
through your family, and it's like, it would have been really hard for her, so good on you, Tessa, for doing that. Because now Jace is taking on the Herondale name, he's going to take on the Herondale Manor, and I hope he enjoys all the Demon Pox poems written around the house. I think there's a framed one. I think Tessa mentioned there was a framed one. And probably plenty of photos and things like that. So, yeah.
And at the end of City of Heavenly Fire, Jem sees Church, his cat, being rescued. And we have this little bit where Isabel goes, did Brother Zachariah just steal our cat?
So that's probably like a really good bit. Gets Church back.
Yeah, we should probably finish up now.
Okay. We will come back. We will probably post another video next week, maybe.
Hopefully.
So, we're out. See ya.